I love you, Potter. Hey guys. So, um, a couple of y'all commented that y'all wanted to know what happened between me and Potter and why I was on meds and how I got injured. And yeah, so here we go. I think now that this is really funny, and some of y'all may not think that this is funny. Some of y'all may dislike Potter at the end of this, but I do want to say up front that the incident is fully my fault and that what happened is so out of Potter's character, and anybody that knows him personally has not been afraid for him to like cuddle up with them. It was very much extraordinary circumstances. And yeah, so this is basically what happened. I'm going to go back a little ways because it kind of explains why I did what I did. So the first Monday of April, and I don't even know the date of it anymore, I took Gizmo and Potter to the vet because Potter was up for his shots and Gizmo was acting weird, which is a totally different story on its own right. So, anyways, Potter was weighed and given his shots and all this stuff. So, I've had him since January 2015. And he was about 9 pounds whenever we found him, and he's really like an elongated cat, and so 9 pounds on him is really skinny, and he is supposed to weigh between like 12 and a half, 13 and a half pounds max, and so really 13 would probably be maximum best. And so anyways, he got weighed and he is 15 pounds. So Chubby Bunny has to lose 2 pounds of weight. So I had already started cutting back his food, so she recommended that, which of course I had already started doing. And I also, she suggested playing with a laser because he put on a significant amount of the weight after Gizmo had after Scout had passed away. Gizmo has not passed away, guys. Like, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the appointment. Gizmo is fine. After Scout had passed away, my dog, who he cuddled with every night, he kind of like stopped really wanting to like play with toys, and Scout towards the end was like eating his food, so he was eating her food, and that's dog food, and so higher fat content. So he gained a lot of weight right before and after she passed away. And so I've been playing with him with the laser. But something else, though, that the vet said that day made me think of trying something else, because she was asking me, because he is an all-white cat, she was asking me about his habit of sleeping in the windows. And I've never been asked that before of any of my cats. Gizmo used to sleep in the window, but I guess because there's so much like black on her and she just has like thicker, longer skin, or I mean hair, I guess we haven't had to like worry as much about the skin on her ears. But for Potter, because he's all white and his hair is really long but really like fine and kind of like thin on like his head, or at least like around like the tips of his ears, it's not as thick. You have to worry about skin damage and skin cancer from the sun on his ears, which she said that if he got from even laying in the window, they would have to like trim like excess off of his ears. So I had been like, he lays in the window. He's actually in the window now. Potter, bud. Hi, bud. So, but I have super UV protection like screens on my windows that I did last summer. And so and the window that he's laying in, I have a covered patio outside my back door, and it shades it like really well. It's like on the where he lays is like the edge of like the shaded patio area. So anyways, so I wasn't really worried about him, but I was starting to Google about like sunscreens for cats, like to put like on the tips of his ears, like especially summer in Texas gets incredibly hot. And so and by the way, there's like no sunscreen for cats. There is for dogs, but there's none that's safe as of right now for cats. Like there just isn't. So like whenever you see like a mangier looking cat like outside that's like all white or light colored, it might not necessarily be mange. It could actually be like skin cancer. So anyways, all these things I didn't know. So I feel like this is like such a serious story. So, and so much like prep for what actually happened. But so this is like what kind of like got my mind like started like thinking, and I started seeing that people take their cats for walks. And no, I'm not kidding at all. So they make harnesses and leads for it. And so I figured since he was a stray cat and he's always hanging out by the door and kind of trying to like sneak out, that maybe it'd be something that he would be very much legit for. And he's one of those cats that will let you put whatever you want like on him. It's laying in a weird position now. So I went and I got a harness and a lead, and I put the harness on him, and he was totally fine. And then he let me put the lead on him, and he was again like totally fine. We were like walking around in the house. So I took him on the back patio, and we started walking towards the grass, and everything was like going really good. And so I texted my neighbor that I talk to all the time, and I said, "Oh my gosh, you have to come out here, Potters, on the harness. Like, come see." And so she got out there and like said something to me, and that's one of my other side's neighbor. They have a lot of dogs, and they realized that I was outside. And they didn't start barking or causing a commotion just because like of Potter. They do that period, like with people. So they started going crazy. They like bang up against the fence, and he started freaking around and like flailing around on the ground, and I didn't know what to do. So I kind of got like on ground level with him, and I went to go and grab him, and he turned around and bit me and like immediately let go. I only have the 3 marks, and one of them is almost completely gone, and this one pretty much is too. It's this one that was the worst. That was like a legit kind of deep puncture wound. And he like did it and immediately like let go. I think he realized that he wasn't being grabbed by a dog, because that's honestly what me and my neighbor thought he was thinking. And so anyways, so that happened, and I'm on the ground, and as soon as that, he let me like get him, but I couldn't right away. So I kind of like fell on top of him and had him like under me, and I was like holding his head, because in case he got scared again and wanted to try and bite, I just didn't want him to like bite like my face or like my neck. So I was kind of like giving him my hands really. And that's when he doesn't have front claws, he has back claws. That's like whenever his back claws kind of like it accidentally like scratched me and kind of dug just a little bit. And that was pretty superficial. It was mostly this puncture wound that the doctor was worried about. I went to the doctor the next day and got on antibiotics. That made me very, very tired, and I had to drink tons of water. And they said that you didn't have to eat with them, but if I didn't eat with them, I would get like really sick. So I was just like really nauseous and tired and like drained and just the whole week. And but I still got some stitching in. That's why some of my progress last week wasn't super amazing, but until like later in the week. But that's basically what happened. But I feel kind of like bad. Cats have like supersonic hearing basically, and so like people always think like cats are like so overly skittish and stuff because if you aren't used to being around cats and you're like super loud all the time, they might get like just used to you. But like I have like friends that come over and they like always comment like my cat is like scared of them and they don't understand it, and I'm like, because you're constantly loud and they aren't used to it and you frighten them. And it's not necessarily that they're like frightened, but they hear things like so well that they, I mean, I honestly thought, I think that he thought that the dogs had like caught up to him and had grabbed him. And whenever he realized that that wasn't the case, he became very like willing for me to like pick him up and grab him. But I was very close to losing Potter that day. And so I'm like his parent. And so in my head, I'm like, I really don't care what he has to do. He's terrified. I don't care what happens to me. I can't let him get free out of this harness, like wiggle himself out because he doesn't have front claws. He is neutered. But I was just like, he wasn't even found in this area. Like, this isn't where he was a stray at. And I only saw like bad things happening if he got free. And so, anyways, that's basically the story of what happened between me and Potter. Ever since it happened, though, like even that evening, he was like constantly laying next to me, super attentive and like licking me everywhere. And he cuddled with me more than usual, like in bed and on the couch, and um, followed me everywhere, even a little bit more than he normally does. And so, it was really kind of actually like sweet, but it's kind of like I had this such like great idea and I knew that he would be totally accepting of it, and I just, that factor that the dogs next door might actually really terrify him because it's not something that we've ever tested. So how would you really know? Because he's always been around dogs since I've had him. So it's kind of like, how was I supposed to know that that would freak him out that bad? So it's totally on me. But you know how you just like get so excited and zoned in that you kind of forget that there might be other factors that make it a bad experience? That's kind of what happened. But anyways, so that's basically the story. Hindsight now, it's kind of funny. But I just don't want people to be like, he had that one incident where he like injured me, so now he's like a bad cat because it was totally outside of his element. He's still the sweetest cat I've ever like owned, and or one of the sweetest cats I've ever owned, and he's just such a different personality from any cat that I've ever owned, and that's just so far from him. It was literally just the experience and what was going on, and he was just so terrified. And so yeah, I don't know, like we joke about it now, and actually we started joking about it that night. But I'm fine. I'm good. The antibiotics were over about 4 or 5 days ago, and I'm almost completely 100% healed. Like the scratch marks, like there's a tiny bit of mark left, but not really anything. And this is almost completely healed, and this was the worst of it. And so, yeah, I feel pretty good, and he feels really good, and that's basically what happened, guys. So, hopefully you liked that. I have a lot of like stories, I guess, that I could tell. So, give this video a comment or a thumbs up if you want me to do more stories. But I have like funny stories that I could tell that aren't necessarily animal related. They're just funny stories. So, thumbs up or comment if you would like for me to occasionally, if I have a really good story, do a story time video, because I think they're kind of fun. And I'll try to make the other ones as comical as possible, but I know a couple of y'all were like worried about what had like happened and stuff. So all good here, guys. So I hope that y'all have a beautiful rest of the weekend. It's really rather hot here. Yesterday it already got into the low 90s. Yay. And it's only May, which means our summer will probably last until October. Yay. Um, ooh, I prefer it to be colder. And it's like super sunny, and I'm going back and forth inside and outside in my garage painting bookshelves. So I hope y'all are having a really great weekend. Let me know what y'all are doing this weekend. Are y'all stitching? Are y'all doing Stitch Mania? Are you doing housework? Are you doing home repair? Are you being crafty? Let me know in the comments, and let me know if you want more story times, but like funny story times. So thanks, guys, and again, no worries. Also, we've hit over 300 subscribers. That is crazy to me, but super awesome. So thanks, and um, maybe if we hit 500 subscribers, I will do a fun giveaway, and probably be Stitchy related. So, yay! See y'all later. Bye, guys.